evening, everybody. Welcome to the full council for tonight. It's your members and public, so everybody is now passed over there. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I just welcome everybody. We'll start the agenda with apologies for absence.
Chair, Vice Chair, we received apologies for absence from Councillors Peter Coulson and Councillor Christine Bell.
Alright, thanks. Right. Are there any, on item 2, are there any declarations of interest on any items appearing on tonight's agenda? Okay. Mayor's announcements.
We've got a couple there for every Remembrance Sunday and the underneath at St John Andrew's Church and also at the beacon on Sunday night. And thank you for everybody who turned up at the beacon.
Okay, thank you. Helen, have you
I've just got a couple, not really announcements, but just some little updates. We have received an FOI request in relation to the procurement process around our events contract. We've had a couple of queries from some residents. One is in relation to Bertie's Bar on Front Street and the Smith's Arms in Catchgate. So I am waiting to hear back from Building Control about Bertie's Bar, and I'm waiting to hear from the brewery in relation to who actually owns the Smith's Arms. Both are in significant disrepair. We've also had a resident ask about a war memorial in Stanley, so it's on my list of things to do. And can I also remind people about, please encourage everybody to come to our panto. There are still tickets available, and that starts on the first showing of that starts on the 15th of December. And also a little reminder, I've on annual leave on Friday for 2 weeks, returning on the 12th of December. So if you need anything desperate, ask before Friday. If not, you'll have to hang on. Okay, that's everything. Thanks, John.
Right. Thanks very much. Item 4 on the agenda is the leader's statement and update on current business. Nothing.
Sorry,
No,
poorly to get
I know. Yeah. Public participation. There doesn't appear to be any members of the public here. So have we got up? Were they covered by the items that you just mentioned?
Yes.
The public participation. Yeah. It's the same thing.
The same thing.
Yeah, the hardy perennials. Yeah. Right, confirmation of the minutes, item 5, attachment A, to approve the records, to approve as a record and sign the minutes of the ordinary full council meeting on the 18th of October. Anyone? Can I have a, yeah, James, you propose them. Can we have a second for that, please? I don't think we need one, actually, do we? Jeanette, thank you. Item 6, receipt of committee minutes. Now, I'm very sorry, I have to say, I made a bit of a boo-boo on this one. I seconded the minutes of the meeting previous to this one, and I wasn't there. So, but it has been agreed, the minutes were agreed, so it's just me to have to say, terribly sorry, I shouldn't have seconded them because I wasn't there. But anyone, we don't need a seconder as it happens, but just in case anybody looks at the form, at the minutes and says, hang on a minute, she wasn't there. Is that alright? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just to receive the minutes. Item 7, accounts for payments and bank reconciliation. Right. Consider the attached information and approve the payments of the accounts for October and note the bank reconciliation for October 2022. Are we alright with that? Has anyone got any? No? Are we? Okay. Can we approve them then? Yeah. Thank you. Item 8, local government pay award. Are you, it's just to know.
This is just to know.
Yeah, you've all had the paperwork for that, and it's just to note. Does anyone anything to say on it or not? No. No, we don't go item 9, building condition and budget update, which is attachment G. The council is to consider the report and agree proposal. Now, do you have anything you want to do with it?
So obviously everybody has had the Civic Hall report that has been prepared. It's not a massively long report, as well as 2 proposals that are being put forward in relation to the 2023-24 budget. I will briefly take everybody through the report. Like I say, it's not a massively long one, but I feel the decision that needs to be made tonight is a big decision, so I need to ensure everybody understands what is in the report. So background, the Civic Hall is a theatre entertainment venue situated at Front Street, Stanley. The building is owned by Durham County Council, as leased to Stanley Town Council over a 35-year term. The lease was signed on the 30th of June 2015. The rental for the building is 1 peppercorn on request. The conditions of the lease are not favourable to the Town Council. In particular, the lease requires all repairs and maintenance to be undertaken by the Town Council. The current condition of the Civic Hall is poor. Built in 1961, the building has fallen into significant disrepair and has sadly not been maintained by either Durham County Council prior to 2015 or by the Town Council, despite a number of reports being prepared detailing and advising of the work that was required to be undertaken. Whilst the current condition of the building is poor, it appears from feedback that has been received from a number of sources the building was never of a reasonable standing, and it could be said that it is currently in better condition now than it was when it was first received. The building requires a significant amount of maintenance to bring it up to a reasonable standard. The maintenance and running costs of the Civic Hall have been catapulted to the forefront of the Council's discussions due to Durham County Council condemning the heating system in March 2022, which left the building with no working heating system. There are a significant number of other repairs to be undertaken, i.e. a new roof, a number of internal walls and ceilings need treated for damp and replastering. 2 sets of public toilets require full refurbishment, alongside a large amount of general repairs and maintenance and cosmetic works that the requirement for the council to set a budget for 2023-24. The extensive maintenance schedule is being prepared and is currently estimated to include the costs over £1 million. The Council reluctantly accepts that all repairs and maintenance are their responsibility given the terms of a very unfavourable lease. It had been hoped that there would be recognition from Durham County Council that they owned the building, its condition when it was received by the Town Council, and that their 1 point service had been benefiting from a jointly sourced heating arrangement. They would financially contribute to the 2 main areas of concern, i.e. the roof and the heating system. The clerk, alongside county councillors, met with the head of corporate property and land in an attempt to obtain a financial commitment from Durham County Council. However, it was confirmed in a recent meeting with the head of corporate property and land that they would be unable to financially support any works given the terms of the lease and their own financial burden. Please see the below. The below text is literally the cut and paste from the email that I was sent. It says, "It was good to meet with you and Councillor Stephen yesterday and have a tour of the Civic Hall. I thought I would drop you a line to confirm the discussion. As you are aware, the terms of the lease to the Town Council responsibility for keeping the building in repair falls to the Town Council. Unfortunately, Durham County Council do not have available funding to assist the Town Council in undertaking any repairs to the Civic Hall. When we met yesterday, you raised the question as to whether it would be possible to vary your lease to permitting subletting. Whilst I have no problem looking into this, I would suggest that it is unlikely to generate sufficient income to offer long-term financial solution to the investment required into the Civic Hall. Whilst we were leaving the Civic Hall yesterday, we did identify that some of the guttering and flashing is missing from the outside of the building, and there is also a missing roof tile. Having these repaired will assist with some of the ingress that you are experiencing with regard to the general maintenance issues that you have highlighted. When we looked around the building, as promised, I have asked one of my team to arrange a visit to the hall and provide you with some general advice. I appreciate this isn't the answer you were looking for, but hope you can understand the Council's limited financial resources. So then if we move on to point 3, usage, income and expenditure. There is no dedicated hospitality team to run and manage the Civic Hall following a recent restructure. Without investment into the team with hospitality knowledge, it is difficult to increase any sort of income or interest. The Civic Hall is used by a small number of regular organisations who hire various rooms within the building. There are a regular number of users who generally deliver an annual show within the theatre. Sadly, the charging arrangements for the use of the building have not been consistent, and in most cases the Civic Hall has run at a loss at these events. While the staff and team have attempted to bring consistency to all charging arrangements, this has been met with a significant amount of displeasure from those using the building. There is an element of belief that the building should come for free. It has also been difficult to justify an increase in these charges due to the condition of the building and what we are able to offer. The below table shows the income and expenditure of the Civic Hall since 2016/2017 to the Q1 projections for 2022-23. I'll not go through that table, but people can see it. As you can see from the table, the Civic Hall has always run at a significant loss, which has been subsidised by Stanley Town Council year on year. The current spend on the Civic Hall being approximately a third of the Council's overall precept. The Council have held 2 budget workshops, and officers have provided the Council with 2 proposals to help inform them of their decision making. Proposal 1 details the financial implication of ending the lease on the Civic Hall with Durham County Council and returning the building to them, and this can be seen at Appendix 1, which is Proposal 1. The Proposal 2, which details the financial implications of retaining the Civic Hall, this can be seen at Proposal 2. It is important to note that both proposals require the Council to undertake a significant and costly amount of repairs and maintenance. Each proposal also has implications upon other financial support given to other organisations currently, although it is a recommendation of the clerk that all spend and leasing arrangements are reviewed in the coming year. It's important to note that this is the beginning of a very, very lengthy process, with the first decision being the future of this building. So point 4, recommendations. It is recommended from the budget workshop that, given the information provided, the Town Council are required to agree Proposal 1, which would see the Civic Hall being returned to Durham County Council. Should this proposal be agreed, then the Council is recommended to instruct a solicitor to provide advice on the current leasing arrangements and possibly get out clauses. Just in addition to that, we have slightly tweaked the figures with regards to information that we've received very, very recently. So obviously in both of the proposals we talk about the money advice service and the grant that they receive. They usually run the 1st of July to the end of June, but what we've asked is that they provided us with the figures from July to March 2023 and then from April 2023 through to March 24, which enables us to organise the budget better because it then follows our budget. So the cost of this service, the Stanley Advice Service, from the 1st of July 2022 to the 31st of March 23 is £25,125. Now that includes the rental for the venue building, which would mean from the 1st of April 2023 to 31st of March 24, it would be 33,500, but that includes 7,500 worth of rental for their building as well. But as the report says, I would recommend that all services and elements and leasing arrangements are looked at and reviewed. But in relation to the 2023 payment to the Stanley Advice Service, that payment is there. You have that already in this year's budget, and there would be a slight saving of about £5,000 on that £125. So that's that. In relation to the Stanley Fund, in proposal 1, it says that we would reduce the Stanley Fund down from 50,000 to 30,000, because we have been made aware that they currently have 20,000 that is gone unspent. This is actually 25,000 that has gone unspent. Therefore, I would propose that you reduce the 30,000 down to 25,000. So that would give you another 5,000, which could be put into reserves, because worst case scenario, we have to think worst case scenario, the cost of the building maintenance repairs on the Civic Hall. So that they are the two proposals that you can see. I'll hand back over to the Vice Chair.
All right. We have to consider the report and agree the proposal. So I'm going to throw it open for discussion. And if anyone has anything they'd like to add or say about this.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would see if we should charge the rent for little venue. We should either put me up or we see if it's some fault.
Anyone?
Chair, probably I should, didn't realise we were going to get into the rent on the advice services, but just for transparency, I just wanted to clear up whether or not the community interest to chair the venue community association.
Right. I don't think that it's. I don't think that's relevant to what we're actually discussing now. It's a side issue, isn't it?
It's just that the amounts are made up of two. It's two elements of the payment that we would pay, and it comes in as two elements, so it has to be shown as two elements.
Anyone got anything you would like to add to the to what we already know, or to the proposals that are made in the report? No? No? Oh, yeah, sorry, Paul.
I just think we'll knock this around in the budget workshop. I was at the first one, and the options that we've got presented here are basically continue to operate the Civic Hall for the public, or get rid of virtually everything else we do as a council. I think it's really, really difficult. I mean, the council's not immune to some of the cost of living pressures that all of our communities are facing at the minute as well. Difficult choices. I think for me, there's a couple of points that I'd like to make. The first one is it appears that there hasn't been a proper building survey done on the condition and the fabric of this building at the point it was taken on, which has put us on the back foot, I guess, with any negotiations we do, because we don't know from any qualified professional at that time what liability we're being taken on. There has been significant investment in the building since we've got it. I think there's probably an argument or a discussion for another day really about whether that money's being spent in the right areas or not, and it's about the buying out being spent. I think for me, the report doesn't really view us as an option either. Stop all of those advice services and the funding that we do, spend all of our reserves in maintaining the building and putting some sticky clauses over a gate in the room, or get rid of the building and continue to try and support the communities with the cost of living crisis. That's effectively how I see it. I think the other point I would make is that what we shouldn't be saying with this is that the town council's closing City Hall. Effectively what we're doing is we're talking about handling the operation of the building day to day to Durham County Council. And our council are almost big on culture, investing 15 million in the former DLI site as a museum, restaurants and stuff like that. Or we run the Gala Theatre, we run the Empire Theatre, we've got a massive cultural programme. So I've got no doubt that if there was a political will there, the county council would pick this building up and make something great of it for our communities. And I guess there's another argument that would say about why is people in concert not paying extra for their theatre, because of the options to hike their council tax up by 20-30% or something to support some of the costs on this. So there's a double taxation issue as well, really, that the county council have a portfolio of cultural buildings across the county, and I think we're probably best placed with the work we've done on the county culture bid to try and take this building forward in a way where they've got access to more resource, expertise, dedicated cultural teams who can come in and hopefully offer some diverse programmes and retain a good cultural offering in Stanley. So I think that's my 2 pennies. Obviously, I don't think we've got, from my point of view, I don't think we've got any choice. I think we should have the day-to-day operation of the building, put it back into the hands of Durham County Council, who represent the taxpayers, and work with them over the next 12 months for the transition of the building to go back into their capable hands and management.
Well, thank you for that. Have you got anyone else who wants to add to it? Or add to anything? Okay. Yes, Alex.
I don't think we should be blaming the county council. I think Stanley Town Council needs to stand up. We've made a total mess of this. Yes, it probably wasn't took on in the best state. I wasn't on the council at that time. I think we need to stop hiding behind things. And as far as I can see, we have failed the people of Stanley with this building, and with quite a lot of the other things that we did, and we need to take it all along and we need to get out and sell it.
Okay. Anyone else? Anything you want to talk? Well, in that case, if no one else has, we'll just have to take this to a vote. So, sorry.
I request a main vote.
Yes, I was just going to say, if when we vote, if everyone can keep their hands up long enough for me to recall the names, okay? That's not a problem.
So, Chair, before we actually get to the point of the
Yes.
vote, I think it's important that everybody, all of those councillors, understand the decisions we've got to make, the finances here.
Yeah.
You can't vote to keep a building open without the resource to do it on the bankrupt council. And I think that's a harsh reality of it. So if anyone here or anyone's going to pop their hand up in any votes, but sort of say we vote to keep the building open, the way to keep the building open is to come up with a plan to fund it and pay for it properly. And otherwise you really put the whole council and everything you do at risk of going bankrupt. It's no good just saying, I don't agree with this. So there's 2 proposals on the table. One of them is to scrap all the other services we do to maintain the building, and the other one is to give the building back to the county council for them to make it go with it, and then retain some of the services we do. I think it's important that people recognise that fund, because politically it's very easy for anyone to put their hands up to say they don't agree with something. But we've all got a judicial duty to protect the public purse here.
Yeah, that's exactly right. However, it has been used as political pawn right the way through, so therefore, if people do decide to put their hand up and say that they want to keep it, there has been various times that things have been put forward and have been ignored, and we shouldn't be being pressurised or having been said that we are going to bankrupt the council or anybody that decides to put their hand up, because there is a lot more should have been being done before we got to this decision.
I don't want to sound tit for tat, but you don't tell us where you found the money from. I think that's the point
But I
I'm getting
think, to be fair,
That's what I'm getting to. I mean,
the
I'm not
only
using this-
person that actually put any meaningful
Sorry, Chair,
things together
I'm
was
finished,
myself.
Chair.
So
Sorry, I haven't finished
Yeah.
there. I mean,
I'm sorry, I've got you.
quite what I was talking, but I just think that I haven't seen any meaningful way that will make savings to invest in the building. There's been a lot, you can see over the years, there's been a lot of investment gone in to subsidise the building, because gone into other things. So I haven't seen, I haven't heard anything in the workshops that we've done, that there's been a real business case made to keep the building and deliver all the services that we think are important for the residents of Stanley. So it's not me saying we've got an honourable back, this is the start of the outlook, we've got a report to front of us, the clerk, the finance officer, we've done a lot of work with business members to take us through all the figures and possible implications of that. And through the past few months while we've been talking about this in workshops, across the party everyone's had a chance to have the same kind of proposals forward. Nothing's been presented that leads us to a different conclusion than the two options we've got. Sorry, I don't want to let you come back.
It's a waste of time because over the years I've put various things in and they have not gone anywhere. So I think we better just leave that there. And yes, it is a sad state of affairs, and this council is far too political. We're not interested in the people at Stanley. It's all about political wrangle.
Sorry.
Yeah, they want to come back to that if I can. Just got to try and take the politics out of it by saying, you've got an idea, or you've brought an idea forward, now's a chance, put it on the table, let's have a discussion about it. But it means to me that nobody, absolutely nobody, has got an alternative proposal who doesn't back up the council, doesn't put the council in financial disagreement, or even to them there. So if anybody's got any ideas, now's the chance to get them out. Politics aside, you can say what you want about politics. Politics is just about people and opinions. And when you look at the finances and what they're presenting, unless someone's got another way to find this money that doesn't involve hiking the council tax up for our community, or scrapping all the other services, put it on the table, let's have a discussion about it. Is that an opportunity to change?
So I'm just going to go straight to the vote because I can see both sides of this, and I can also see that people are going to vote with the hearts rather than the heads, and the other way around. So there's nothing, we may as well just go to the vote. Okay. So yes.
Just before we go into the vote, can you just be clear what you would be voting on?
Yeah.
It would be proposal 1 with option where it says option 1 because we've had to add in some different things where you would be reducing the Stanley Fund down from 30,000 to 25,000, and you would need to still increase the precept by 1%, which would be 4 pence a month per household. That would be the change.
Okay.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Is everybody? Oh, okay.
So, in relation to the copy that you have, it says 20,000 Stanley Fund reduces from 50,000 down to 30,000. The Stanley Fund still have 25,000 in their fund that they haven't been able to grant. So my recommendation would be that 30,000 would be changed to 25,000, which would free up a further 5,000 that could go into reserves to prepare us for the maintenance on the building. And you would still need to increase the precept by 1% to cover the shortfall, which would equate to 4 pence per month per household.
Is that all right?
Not as the increase in precepts, which option 2 previously.
No, you would still need to increase the precept.
Yes.
Yes, sorry, that was an error on my part where I've put option 1 and option 2. We'd still need both of those.
So you don't do
Yes.
it.
Right.
You would still need to increase
Sorry,
it,
Dr.
yeah.
Right. Is Is everybody clear on what we're voting on?
Option 1 is here.
So option 1 is that you would obviously give the money advice service the £25,125. That would take you up to March 2023. So from April 2023, you would be given the money advice service 33,500, so there'd be no reduction there. The Stanley Fund, you would be reducing it down from 50,000 to 25,000. Detached youth would be no reduction in 23-24, but obviously all of those three services, that their provision would be fully reviewed in the year 23-24. And we would also need to increase the precept 1% to cover the £8,188 shortfall, which equates to 4 pence per month per household. And that would...
Which doesn't mean handing over the building.
So that is to hand the building back.
Yeah.
If you chose to keep the building, you would basically have to stop everything that we do. So there would be, you'd have to reduce the money advice service from 33.5 down to 20,235. You'd have to reduce the Stanley Fund right down. You'd have to reduce the detached youth work right down. We would have to get rid of the apprentices. We'd have to get rid of any provision for IT equipment. The warden's vehicles would have to go. All your reserves would be gone. Basically, you would be removing everything other than running this building. All your money would be being put into the building. So that's proposal 2.
All right. Okay. So that's you've now all for the proposal again and the alternative proposal. So we'll take a vote first of all on.
Excuse me, Chair. Can
Yeah,
I
sorry.
just clarify something? I've just realised with option 1 having a mention of the detached youth project, there may be some of us who have to declare an interest on that. Because
It's not in your interest, is it? Is it on the board? Is that what you're saying?
well, it's just that sort of I believe the detached youth money gets paid to stars.
No.
So I think possibly myself and Sam and Joe might have to declare that. I hadn't thought about that before we started discussing it. I'd rather just clarify that now than complicate things.
It is a part of it, so I would imagine that a declaration just on the that would do. Right. Start again. Anybody else? Right, you've heard it. We'll take the vote on proposal 1. Could I have hand shown in favour of proposal 1? And could you just keep your hands up until we've recorded the vote? Immediately. Okay, I think I've got that right. All those against, please. And could you just keep your hands up until she's got all the opinions? Are you okay? Yeah. Thanks very much. And any abstentions, please? There's no abstention. That wasn't counted to see who would. Right. Okay. Well, in that case, could you give us the numbers for that?
option one's fine.
That's
9 for option 1 and 6 against. So, right, well, that means that the recommendation is for option 1 is carried. Therefore, we won't be voting on option 2. So thank you very much for that, ladies and gentlemen, because I know how much anxiety that's caused. Right, we will now move on to item 10, which is forthcoming election review of Durham County Council, which is attachment 8H. Are you going to do the run through with that?
So just very briefly, myself and some of the town councillors did attend a presentation last night of the Durham County Council electoral review for parishes in the forthcoming electoral review of Durham County Council. I'll be quite honest, it wasn't what I was expecting, but I was expecting a little bit more detail, but it was more about the process that will be undertaken, and especially in relation to the consultation. There were a set of slides that came out, so I have forwarded those to yourselves electronically, but I also have a number of copies for anybody who wants them to take with them. The consultation has opened today, and within the email there is ways of how we can feed back. So we do have up until so the first consultation opens from today till the 30th of January next year, where we can, we've got opportunities to feed back, give people their view, give the County Council and the Electoral Commission, the Boundary Commission, the community's views. So have an opportunity to have a look through it, and if you want to feedback, please do let me know.
Thank you for that, Wayne. Right, we're now moving on to item 11, Christmas opening closure 2022-23. We just have to note that we'll be closed from the 24th of December until Tuesday, the 3rd of January 2023.
Chair, if I could just mention, there is a performance of the pantomime on the evening of the 24th, so the building will be open quite late on the 24th. And we have also offered the building to Packed House so they can have a bigger Christmas to support more local residents, for those who aren't, maybe don't have family or they can't afford a Christmas lunch. They will be using bigger kitchens in a bigger area to dine.
Thank you for that. The venue of next meeting, 24th of January 2023. Oh, I don't. And I suppose at this point, because nobody's here to go over Christmas, well, just wish you a Merry Christmas. Thank you. Thanks for your attendance, ladies and gentlemen.